Здорово. Танків продовжує проходити Fallout Новий Вегас. Підходжу я до гори Блек і зустрів супермутанта, який попереджає мене, що це небезпечне місце і людям лучше туди не сувати.
You must have heard her radio broadcast. Though why a human would follow her invitation here is beyond me, unless you didn't listen very closely. The voice on the radio belongs to Tabitha, the supreme commander of Black Mountain, or as she calls it, the state of Utopia. She took control of this place almost 2 years ago. The super mutants here do whatever she says, and she says humans are to be killed on sight. Help would improve the odds. Help might just make the difference. All right, if you're good enough at what you do to meet me in the village up near the peak, we can talk further. I'll have a plan by the time I see you, if I see you. Good luck. It's gonna be a lot harder for you to get up there than it will be for me.
Дякую за попередження. Кстати, за кадром я відвідав форт Легіона. І знайшов труп Цезаря. У нього була така специфічна рукавиця. Високотехнологічна, однако.
Company. Eat this.
Хера себе тут компанія. Супермутанти.
Can't run from me.
Ну, знаєте, я згадав цей квест, і я скажу прямо. Прориватися на гору Блек непросто. О, блін. Так що по прямій лучше не йти. О. Вот і броня Цезаря. Бум.
Let's get out of this first. Empty.
Знаєте, що показательно труп Цезаря відкинуло до... в сарайчик для... Ой, точніше до Браміна. Загорожу. Круто. Як показательно. Ну я забрав його уніформу, так сказати.
Empty.
І там знайшов оцю його рукавицю. Рукавиця Цезаря, якщо що. Може я зараз покажу, не знаю, але в ближньому бою вона наносить такий, має дуже специфічний ефект. Удар кулаком, отак пробив, робить якусь енергетичну вспишку, яка наносить урон по площі. І треба бути обережним, щоб самому не вштирило. Я пам'ятаю, йти вперед це просто самоубійство. Так що лучше обійти гору вон тудою. Гора Блек. По радарах видно, що тут була якась воєнна база. Причому така мощна тут связь. Явно височенні технології, якщо братство Сталі ними зацікавилось. Ну. Вау. Я вже боявся невидимої стінки. Йти на пролом смертельно небезпечно. То, в принципі, і тут шастати смертельно, небезпечно. Все-таки супермутанти. Правда, що цікаво, в Новому Вегасі супермутанти не такі живучі, як на східному узбережжі. Там експеримент з вірусом рукотворної еволюції йшов трохи інакше, і в тамошніх супермутантів міцніша шкіра. Кстати, вас, напевно, зацікавить, на що я вернувся в форт? А, от там є ж оце завдання. Називається інтерфейс чоловік-машина. Вбити 10 містерів храбрецов і роботів-охранників за допомогою... чого, до речі? Пригадуй. А, за допомогою монтіровки. Свинцової труби, силового кастета або прочого. Там були відключені роботи-охранники. Ну, там я 4 роздобув, так сказати. Є один гліч, до речі, як виконати це завдання. В тому Ніптоні був прототип містера храбреця модифікований. Якщо переночувати 3 ночі, конкретно переночувати, не просто провести 3 доби за межами Ніптона, а іменно проспати, то там заспавниться новий і можна виконати це завдання. І бажано без напарника, а то він зразу ушльопне. Цікаво виходить.
Could you please direct me to Mr. Tabitha? Thank you very much. My internal clock says it's been 6 years, 52 days, 40 minutes, and 13 seconds since I last spoke to her. I hope she hasn't gotten lonely.
Ну, написі на терміналі, думаю, очевидно, що вела іменно Табіта. Чи Вів. Супермутантів в статі нема. Ну, не важно. Судя по імені, цей мутант був жінкою, говоритиму про нього відповідно. Так. Беремо все, що може пригодитися.
Rhonda? Is that you?
It is, Mistress Tabitha. How I've missed you, sir. This stranger here fixed me up right as rain. Is she a friend of yours?
I don't know how to thank you for bringing Rhonda back to me, stranger. Here, take this. I won't be needing it anymore. I don't know. It's been so long since I lost Rhonda that I'm not sure.
Mistress Tabitha, we should be heading off. Our journey has been much delayed, but we can catch up if we hurry. Come along now.
Yes, Rhonda. I don't even remember where we were going. It'll be good to travel around with Rhonda again.
А тут є новий, так сказати, напарник. Оу.
Took you long enough, so can I go now?
Alrighty then. I'll just head out, alone, by myself, into the dangerous waste. Sorry, boss, but as much as I like to risk getting killed by your side, you seem to already have some help. Sorry. Sure, boss. Name's Raul. Raul Alfonso Tejada. I'm the mechanic around here. You forget about me already, boss? You sure you didn't take a blow to the head or something? My name is Raul Alfonso Tejada.
Цікавий факт узнав. Похоже, оця огрубівший від гуліфікації голос незамітний, якщо говорити з мексиканським акцентом. Ну і якщо з китайським.
Probably because it used to be Miguel's. I'm an open book, boss. Granted, the book's in Spanish and some of the pages have fallen out, but I'm an open book. I was born just outside Mexico City. My family had a little ransom. Anything at home. Old enough to know better, boss. Old enough to know better. You never heard of Petro Chico? Un amigo de Poseidon Energy? Nah, of course not. They were an oil company in Mexico back before the war. Well, boss, when a giant, insane super mutant asks you to stay put, you do what you're told. Well, maybe you don't. But I'm just a broke-down old man. It's stupid, boss. I used to listen to the radio broadcast, just to pass the time. Well, one day the signal stopped, so I figured I'd try to find a transmitter. I'm a pretty good repairman. Or I was before my eyes started to go. Anyway, I found Black Mountain and offered my services. But Tabitha decided I was useful enough to keep around permanently.
We should get to the Hoover Dam.
О, рвешся в бой?
I'll make my way there.
Хорошо. Рауль, пошли.
Oh, it's you. Sure, boss. I'd be happy to prolong my captivity and psychological abuse to tighten some lugnuts for you. Oh, it's... Anything's better than staying here.
І що тут за навики цікаво я відкрив? Ой, способності. Крутой парень я. Пошкодження частин тіла зробили мене крепче. Ломані кості крепче. Да. Що? Регулярне теплообслуговування. Обружі і броня повільніше зношується. Ні, ну це мило, нічого не скажу. А ти що скажеш? Раульчик.
Shoot first, poke bodies later. Got it, boss. Not to worry, boss. I'm sure killing the boss of one of the families will in no way lead to savage, bloody reprisals against you and your loved ones.
Да, я згадав, Рауль кончений песиміст.
Questions, boss? Just how old do you think I am, boss? Because I can pretty much guarantee I'm older than that. Let me tell you a story from before the Great War. Everybody knew Robert House. He was a genius, a superstar. Founded Romco at 22, dated Hollywood starlets, the works. They say he saved Las Vegas. I was in Mexico City when the bombs dropped. Even from there, we could see House's defensive rockets shooting down the incoming missiles. Everybody assumed he died in the war. Maybe he did. But his robots are still out there roaming the waste. And now, may Mr. House rules New Vegas. I remember there were some weird stories about him, especially near the end. There was a tell-all in El Periódico de las Arboridas by a starlet House dated. She said they never, now don't make me spell it out, boss. Anyway, she said all he wanted to do was scan her brain and make her dress up in different outfits. It was quite the scandal, at least in the Latin American tabloid journalism market. Maybe not. Maybe the new guy is just a clever raider chief with knowledge of history. Maybe he just left instructions for his robots to carry out in his name. Or maybe Robert House uploaded his brain pattern into a computer and rules to this day a godless, soulless machine god. Maybe the whole thing's a crazy coincidence. Who knows? Benny, huh? Sorry, boss. Doesn't ring a bell. Then again, my brain isn't as sharp as it used to be. They're all right, I suppose. Had a bit of tough going there at the beginning. You know, their first town was nearly wiped out by raiders. Anyway, they got their good points and their bad. Just like a lot of the old governments from before the war. I don't really have a problem with it. People around here tend to see them as invading marauders planning to burn and pillage the countryside. But I've been to Arizona, boss. Before the Legion, it was a nasty place. So thick with raiders you couldn't trade with a town 2 miles up the road. Caesar's laws aren't nice, and their actions aren't always pretty. But then neither am I. But you keep me around.
Нихера себе. Ты сравнил кошмари Цезаря со своєю кошмарною внешністю? Максимально невдале порівняння. Видно, ти... Херово. Лучше вже, щоб в Аріозоні лишилась орда рейдерів, чим грьобаний легіон. Впрочем, легіон, я вам відкрою секрет, так сказати, рано чи пізно йому кінець. Цезарь, походу, типа, читав про Римську імперію, але до кінця не дочитав. Римляні... Легіон порабощає різні племена. Римляні своє время так само поработили кучу народів, а потім і так дістали своїми цими імперськими хотілками всіх подряд. Ну а ще розп'яттями і рабством. Що почалися масові восстання, і Римська імперія розвалилася знутрі. Кстати...
Big, it's bright, and it's one of the biggest cities still left from before the war. Well, mostly anyway. Used to be just a curiosity. The buildings were pre-war, but it's just as full of raiders and barbarian tribes as any place else. Then Mr. House took over, got the power turned back on, and got the tribes reformed into something civilized. And now they run his casinos for him.
Ну що ж, пошли. Є один квест, він не отмечений, треба зводити Рауля до 3 стариків. Першим стариком, там не обов'язково порядок, но сходимо в новок. Ой, насчет Цезаря и его оружия, кстати. Перчатка-витіснитель. Варто відмітити гарно. От, бачите? От така взривна вспишка. Цікава технологія. Но рукавиця важка, що капець. Урон, правда, величезний. Першим Рейн, старий дід Рейн. Ну, я його вже розпитував, тепер якщо вийти...
Over-elaborate
Ні, треба його повторно розпитати його історію.
What's new? Right. A few years back, we get a tip that some Legion... I go to grab him out of there, and he shuts himself back in the closet, and that's when I see... They do it a lot, the Legion. Anyway, that was the first time. Second time, I fell down those stairs in front of the motel. What? That...
Що ж, поговорили.
Hey, boss. Can I ask you something? What do you think of guys like Ranger Andy? I mean, guys who have a world of experience doing what they do, but have to give it up because they're getting old and slow or too injured. Maybe, yeah. I guess you got a point there. Not really, boss. No. I grew up in a place called Hidalgo Ranch, just outside Mexico City. It wasn't much, just a bit of a farm. with a house for 3 generations of Tejadas. I wasn't the best behaved kid. I was quick with my hands, with a pistol or a wrench. And I wasn't afraid to get into fights over it. I never killed anybody, but I had my share of run-ins with the police. Mostly my family kept me in line. This was before the war. We were far enough away from Mexico City when the bombs fell that we missed the worst of it. But things got bad quick. Just a few days after Mexico City was vaporized, refugees started pouring down the road to our ranch. We helped who we could, but there were so many. Eventually my father started turning people away before we ran out of food. Things got violent. My father and I got our guns, and we drove them off. About 24 men came back in the night after we'd gone to sleep. They set fire to the ranch house and barred the doors from the outside. My whole family was trapped inside. I smelt the smoke, and I got myself and my little sister Rafaela out through a window, but everyone else. My parents, my grandmother, my 2 brothers, and 2 of my sisters all died. Rafaela and I ran. We were pursued by some of the men who attacked our home, but I was always a good shot. The ones who came after us, I killed. The rest, I left be. I had to take care of Rafaela, not throw my life away on revenge. I know that, boss. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just getting sentimental in my old age. Anyways, forget it. Just wanted that off my chest.
Я раніше не брав Раулі як спутники, тільки недавно дізнався про цей особий, так сказати, квест. Так. Ранчо. Наступний, з ким нам треба поговорити. Цей... Старий Рей... Капрал Стерлінг, чи як його там. Треба зайти в казарму. А ні, вони ж в штабі. Ну, так от, не брав я Рауля раніше в супутники і, признаюсь, я помилився. Він не песиміст, це просто я колись прочитав тільки його записи в тому терміналі. Ну, він був в заключенні і впав в депресняк. Нормальний мужик. Спокійний, но жутко обмежений. Оце його мнення, що сім'ї стали цивілізованими. Що не перевдівай дікаря, все одно останеться дікарем. А по-друге, і оце його, скоріше, положительне отношення до легіона. Ну, він просто... Так сказати... явно не знає, на що легіон способен.
Howdy. What brings you back? Used to... Well...
Я вже колись це робив. Хорошо, тепер виходимо.
Got a second to talk, boss? Meeting Corporal Sterling. Well, it kind of got me thinking. Here's a guy that's been beat all to hell, right? I mean, he could have retired from the service, but instead he signs back on and does what he can. You think he did the right thing? You think so, boss? because I remember a time when a lot of people stuck to their duty no matter what. It ended with nuclear bombs falling on my hometown.
Ну, капралу тільки уважуха. Я вчив історію, читав про ветеранів обох світових війн з кучою поранень. Свише 10. І навіть це не вивело їх з строю. Я маю на увазі конкретних поранень. Не що пуля, скажем, просто царапнула шкіру.
After the fire, I knew my sister and I couldn't stay at our old ranch anymore. The refugees still wanted me dead. They even put a bounty on me. I remember how scared Rafaela was. I told her if she came with me, we'd see the vaquero. She used to love the rodeo, especially the trick rider. We figured maybe we could find help in Mexico City. We were young. We didn't know what had happened, really. We didn't understand about the bombs. I don't think it was as hard hit as D.C. or Bakersfield, but it was bad enough. By the time we got there, the city was a radioactive ruin. Still, the city was full of looters, already forming into the beginnings of raider tribes. Crime was bad before the war, but now it was a nightmare. We were living like scavengers, scraping by on what little food we could find, always looking for medicine for my burns. And then, of course, the radiation started to kick in, turning me into this handsome devil you see before you. You're a poet of understatement, boss. But there were moments it was almost worth it. I still remember finding that novelty costume shop. I was just looking around for something I could slice up to wrap my burns when I saw the vaquero outfit hanging on the rack, like it hadn't been touched. I took it, not like anybody else needed it, you know, and wore it back to our camp. Rafaela laughed, for the first time since the bombs had fallen. It was. I started to build up a legend. Sometimes it headed off trouble, but most of the times it just started more. Young punks looking to prove themselves would come looking for me, but my eyes were sharp and my guns were quick. For a while, it seemed like we might even survive there, until Rafaela. She went out to find some food one day. I was sick, so I stayed at her camp. I guess it must have been the beginning of radiation poisoning. Anyway, it was supposed to be safe, but some raiders happened to pass through where she was scavenging. I won't speak of what they did to her. When I found her body, the only way to recognize her was this funny little scar on her knee from when she was a little girl. Terrible doesn't begin to cover it, boss. I let my whole family down. First the ranch, now Rafaela. I was the last Tejada. I guess maybe I went a little crazy then. I took my guns and went back to that market. I didn't have many bullets, but I had enough. After the raiders were dead, I salvaged what I could from the store. I was tired. I just wanted to be alone forever. I left Mexico City behind. I made my way out to the Gulf Coast. Eventually, I found an old Petro Chico refinery nobody had claimed. I stayed there for a little while, and I thought a lot about my life. I thought about the guns I'd lived by and what they'd gotten me. I decided my guns hadn't gotten me anything, and it was time to give it up. I took off the old vaquero outfit and put on a Petro Chico jumpsuit. The name tag said Miguel, so I started using the name myself. Eventually, I made it to Arizona. That's another story, boss.
І останній, з ким нам треба зустрітися. Дідуля Адепт. Стоп, ти добрався до Аризони? То есть ти був на території Легіона? І як видя всіх їх зверства, ти можеш скоріше положительно до них ставитись?
Isn't that bomb?
That's a good thing to see, huh, boss? That loyal guy. He's getting up there in years, but he still finds a way to make himself useful to his people. If you ask me, that's better than withering away all alone or holding on to some faded piece of glory from your past. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Old history, boss. I left everything when I left Mexico. My home, my family, my name, even my face. I know it's surprising, boss, but I wasn't always this handsome. As far as the world knows, I was Miguel, and I was okay with that. I headed north for a while, and ended up in Tucson. Not Tucson, by the way. Things were good there. Well, maybe not good, but better than Mexico City anyway. I found myself a little shack, and started fixing things. Oh, sure, boss. I was always good at fixing things. Some I fixed for the town, some I fixed for other people, some I fixed just for the hell of it. It's a better way to use your hands than killing. And even then, I wasn't getting any younger or faster. I lived there for a long time, kept to myself, didn't get into any fights. Hell, the only reason I even kept my guns oiled was professional pride. Getting there, boss. I'd been in Tucson. The locals can call it Tucson all they want, but it's Tucson, damn it. About 75 years when she showed up. Prettiest thing you ever saw, boss. Maybe it was just a trick of my senile brain, but I swear she looked just like my Rafaela. Her name was Claudia. She ended up taking work at one of the brothels in town. I never went to her, of course. How could I? But I looked after her in my own way. This was a long time ago, before Caesar's Legion pacified Arizona and brought the raider tribes to heel. A tribe came into Tucson one day. More a gang, really. Dirty Dave and his 6 brothers. They were looking for bullets, and I sold some to them. I figured if I did that, they'd leave town before they tore it up too much. No, boss. No, they didn't. As I was saying, I hoped they'd leave the town in peace. Instead, they decided to stop at Claudia's brothel to take the edge off. I don't know which one of them got rowdy first, but by the time I heard the screams and got my guns, it was too late. They shot up the brothel, killed 4 girls, and taken Claudia for their sport. I went after Dave and his brothers. They had a head start, but they slept nights. I didn't. It took me 3 days to catch up to them. Claudia was dead when I got there. They put a bullet in each of her eyes. I couldn't do anything except avenge her, just like Rafaela. I charged into the middle of their camp and started firing. 2 of them were dead before they knew I was there. The other 5, though, they shot the shit out of me. I would have died, I think, if I wasn't so full of rage. By being a meaner old cuss than the rest of them, boss. I wanted to keep living until they weren't. So I just kept shooting until they were all dead. I was in pretty bad shape in the end, though. I don't know how long I laid there, with the sun baking me and the buzzards chomping at me. Eventually, I got the strength to start moving. Some long time after that, I managed to drag my carcass back to town. When I recovered, more or less anyways, I left Tucson and headed west. I ran into Tabitha at Black Mountain, and well, the rest you know. I swore I was done with the gunslinging life. I was too old, too slow, and too beat up to protect anyone anymore. I thought I was done forever, but after traveling with you, I realized I've always had my doubts.
Старий і уставший? Та ти ж безсмертний. Ти не можеш состариться.
About whether I still had what it took to carry my pistols proudly, to use them to do what's right. And now that I've been traveling with you for a while, you made me realize that I could still do that. Maybe I'm not as tough as I used to be, but my brains can make up for that. And my hands are still quick enough. It's time to put the guns back on.
Да.
You can bet on that, boss.
О.
I can't believe we were allowed inside the Lucky.
Ого, оцей костюм старого вакеро. Я, кстати, прочитав, що це слово значить. Це типа пастух на іспанських чи щось таке. Ну так обично називають мексиканських ковбоїв. Ну чого ковбойчик? Наостанок ще вернусь на гору Блек, виконується завдання і доложусь старейшині. Вступлю в братство сталі. Хоча з моїми взглядами братство скоріше об'явить на мене охоту, бо я не збираюся складірувати технологію в їхньому хранилищі. А попитаєшся... впрочем, вони устраюють охоту на тих, хто питається ділитися технологією. Ну, в общем-то, приємно завершилося квест. Рауля. Це... з оцим. Як би сказати. Я вернув впевненість в собі. Він просто від всіх цих неудач і його подкосили. Но я поставив мужика на ноги, і тепер він знову взяв себе в руки і почне кошмарити мудаків. Ну типа, вот, Дикий Запад, блатной стрілок, такий, як там, охотник за головами. О, кстати. Дякую тобі, так. Нічого я розбирати не збираюсь. Получали ключ этой самой Табиты. Радіація удержить любопитних. Нагадую, для тих, хто не в темі. Супермутанти неуязвимі до радіації. Я не понял. А ключ тут де? Монтировка. Блін, оцього я не розумію. Як з монтировку можна відремонтувати монтировкою? Отак. Тупо железяку. Ремонтуємо тупо железяку. Щоб пройти туди, мені явно потрібен ключ. Довоєнні бабки. Десь тут має бути ключ, я пам'ятаю. Цього довбаного центра. Що і гребаний ключ може бути. Вот, де ключ від другого поверха. Під камушком. Ноти? Хрена тут ноти. О, хижина Ніла. Ну-ка спустимося. І ще провіримо, що Ніл скаже. Да, спуск це завжди легше. Ну, майже. Хтось просрав цілий чемодан бабла. Ніл. Ще раз. І часом не тут, Ніл. Ух ти, а це хто тут такий, що? Аж стільки на карті. О, ці... Без коментарів. Ціла орда суперматіх мутантів. Тут хтось один є. О, кстати, не зря вернувся, все-таки є сундучок, я думаю. Оце піде Буну. А вот і Ніл. Походу.
Good work, human. Maybe now this place can rest in peace. I still have a job to do here. Some mutants may have heard Tabitha's broadcast and are headed here even as we speak. I'll remain and direct anyone who show up toward Jacobstown, where they'll be much better off. There's nothing here for you, human. Though it is always good to see you.
Розумно. Молодець, Ніл. Відправляй всіх в Джейкобстаун. Там все, в супермутантів все буде схвачено. Прочистимося трошки.
A few of us wanted to thank you for being such a good friend to the Brotherhood, so we've set aside some of our recycled energy cells. We'll leave a few of them in that footlocker in the corner every so often. The Paladins scoff at using recycled ammo, so no one should mind.
Спасибо. Я ж казав, братство ідіоти. Не хочуть використовувати перероблені патрони. Блін. Запасик у вас тут знатний. Воу. Сюди не пройдемо.
There are whispers that McNamara's lost his nerve. I can't believe that. Not after what he did at Helios 1.
Так, стоп, а де тут стрільбище, яке я відвідував, а?
The principles of
NCR
fusion are
military
relatively
transmissions
simple.
say the robots on the strip have been up.
Pardon owes his life
Wish
to
we
me.
had eyes on
Yeah.
him.
That's why
Koala.
I'm challenging outright.
So you're one of us now, huh? Truly, it is a rare honor.
Я б не сказав, що бути з вами така вже й честь. От зі столичним братством да.
Greetings, my friend. I hope... Yes, we've already started receiving telemetry from it. This will be a great help in our future efforts, and I thank you. Now then, it is my great honor to bestow upon you the title of Paladin of the Brotherhood for meritorious service above and beyond the call of duty. I'm afraid a formal ceremony was out of the question, given our current state, but I hope this will make up for it. I had the Knights refurbish a suit of our power armor for your use. It's one of the earlier models, but it should serve you well. Now, I suppose I'm going to have to show you how to use it, aren't I? Would you like to tell me where you learned such a thing? No, don't bother. A person as well-traveled as yourself is bound to pick up all kinds of skills, I suppose. Luckily, that's not all I have for you. I've also given the order that all of our equipment be made available to you. Not just the more mundane arms. You're a member of the Brotherhood now, and your gear should reflect that. Lastly, you will be allowed to come and go as you please. You've done so much for us that to do otherwise would be a crime. I just ask that you keep the Brotherhood's interests at heart in all your dealings. Remember that you will always have a home here.
Силовая броня. Да.
I expect to be awed by your dizzying mercantile sense, boss.
Дякую, але поки що мені його не треба. Ну і наостанок найду, де те стрільбище ще раз, щоб мені його важко знайти. І пошукаю той пістолет. Там в заметках, помню, казали, що треба знайти паладіна, який завідує стрільбищем. Ну, про інтереси братства я вже позаботився. Фактично обезпечив союз з НКР. Стоп, що фактично? Реально обезпечив.
2 hours of weapons training every morning. It is a good way to start the day.
Welcome to the range. Feel free to use it. Torres must be getting desperate if she's accepting help on this one. I'll tell you what I told her. My records show that Initiate Stanton was the last to check it out, but checked it back in a day later.
Дякую, но мені практикуватися на стрільбищі не треба.
Have you heard the news? Elder McNamara has lifted the lockdown. Good news for this store, let me tell you. I can't wait to start getting more goods. Our patrols are always bringing more stuff in. Take a look.
Хера себе у вас тут. Запасик. Ну да ладно. Послушник Стентон. Де цей послушник, блін?
Once, I'm almost glad.
There's a rumor going around that you saved the NCR president's life. I'm surprised you have this.
It's the quiet before the storm up top. Once, I'm almost glad we're down here.
Так, де цей довбаний послушник? Може треба зайти в той клас?
Relatively simple.
Seems the NCR is...
Yes, can I help you? Yes, can I help you? Oh, man. I told Watkins this wasn't going to work. Look, Watkins and I snuck out one day. She said it'd be a training exercise. Said she heard from a guy on one of the patrols that there was a gulch just southeast of here with scorpions in it, and that we had to check it out. There were scorpions out there, all right. We started using them for target practice. Before we knew it, the damn things were all around us. So we made a run for it, and in all the commotion, I dropped my pistol. Watkins keeps urging me to go back and get it, but that's not going to happen. You can go outside, though, can't you? You can return the pistol to Torres and clear this whole thing up for me. Oh, I sort of altered the records after we got back. That was Watkins' idea, too. That girl is nothing but trouble. Still, I haven't been exiled yet, or worse, assigned to latrine cleaning duty. But I will if you don't help me find that gun. No, weapon checking protocol includes verifying the serial number of the weapon, so a different gun would be noticed. Plus, having a new gun suddenly show up would immediately point to you, being the only outsider around here and all. No, the only way I have out of this is if you help. Great. When you find it, just turn it into Torres and I'll be in the clear.
Friends, We've had reports of them making overtures to some gang at Freeside.
Ну, пошукаємо пістолет. От я й добрався до місця, де має бути оцей самий лазерний пістолет. Заодно вирішив вам показати, як працює оця херня. Ну, тобто не херня, а рукавиця. Залози від скорпіонів. Якщо що, нагадую, запіканку в примі дамочка пече тільки з залу з конкретно рад скорпіонів, а не древесних. Блять. Круто, правда? Но, правда, битися з цим отруйним уродом я не збираюсь. І от я думаю, що лишити собі цю супер оружие. Воно займає 6. Ну, блін, зато як лупить. Ой, Рауль, вибач. Стоп. Ось цими утирками я справлюся і так. Знаєте, коли я вперше ударив цією рукавицею когось, то мені показалось, що вона й мені наносить урон, тому що я одночасно пошкодження грудей отримав. Ну це просто таке совпадіння вийшло. Ладно, знайшов. Hidden Valley любимець. Не люблю я це місце, бо в ньому дуже важко орієнтуватися. Такі однакові скали. А вночі взагалі хрен знайдеш той довбаний бункер. Коли вони включають оцю систему защити, що... Ну, з... з пиловими бурями. Тож. Так, шукаємо цих придуркуватих послушників.
Oh, hey there.
Hey.
Стоп. Вічно забуду, де тут гребаний тір.
Have you found it? I need to give my Oh, thank God. Hardin was about to start an inquiry into the whole affair, and more than a few heads would have rolled as a result. Since you helped me, I'll tell you what. I work on some of our busted weapons in my spare time, so I have a few pieces that are kept off the books. Here, take this. I hope it comes in handy.
Дякую.
Our patrols are always bringing more stuff in. Take a look. Pleasure doing business with.
Да. Тут, кстати, є ще один момент цікавий. Можна піти до оцього начальника охорони і здати пацанів, які... Ну, оцих послушників, які вилізли. Сука. Гребаний.
Oh, hey there. Yeah, I knew about it. They're still young, and they weren't going to go very far. I had them on my monitors the whole time. I almost headed out there when they got surrounded by those scorpions, but Watkins is a hell of a shot.
Да. Ну, а тут нам регулярно підкидатимуть снаряження. Ну, точніше, оці подарки. Боєприпаси для енергооружия. Ну що ж, а на цьому поки все. Далі тільки битва за дамбу. Дякую за увагу. Пока.